go ahead and get us started.
Hey Chris, it's Becca from Mavs Social. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. So obviously the Christmas games were announced and the first 2 games of the season. And I know you've played on Christmas before, but never in Dallas. So what is playing on Christmas in Dallas, or in LA, obviously, but for Dallas, mean to you?
That would be super fun right here. Yeah. That would be super fun. I hope I can get ready and be healthy by then. But if I'm not, then it's going to be a fun game for us as a team, and I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully we can get a win in LA.
Brad?
Well, first of all, piggybacking on that, are you not ruling out potentially playing by Christmas?
Sorry, say that again, Brad.
Well, I mean, just to piggyback on that, are you not ruling out potentially playing
I'm
by
not.
Christmas?
I'm not.
Okay.
I feel good. I mean, I'm making big steps forward in my progress, and I don't know. I just want to be out there as soon as possible. I want to be out there for Christmas and play those games, but we'll see. That's me talking. That's not the medical staff talking. So we'll see. We'll see. What's the timeline for me?
Well, my main question was really going to be, most of us haven't talked to you since the bubble. Can you take us through, briefly, what went on with your knee that finally caused you to decide, okay, I got to have the surgery? How long were you on crutches, and what are you able to do now? Sorry about the broad question.
Yeah. No, in the bubble, yeah. As I said before, it happened in game one. After game one, my knee was just completely locked, and I was kind of confused. I was like, what's going on? Why I'm not able to move around and straighten the leg and all that. And then somehow, with our great medical staff, I was able to get the knee going and get ready for game two. So I played game two, game three, and then we had the early game four, which I was super excited for because it was in a good time for European fans to watch. So everybody back home was tuning in for the game, and then I wasn't able to play. I just couldn't get the leg going. It was unstable. It was cracking, and so I knew it was just maybe it was a bit risky at that point. And yeah, the medical staff pulled me off and said that they don't see that's a good decision that I play. And then yes, I took a little time off after the bubble. Obviously the bubble was, we were locked in there for a while, so took a little time off thinking the season was going to start in February, March, which I would have more than enough time to be ready for. And now, it looks like we're going to start much earlier than anticipated. So I'm trying to recover that time so I can start the season as early as I can. And so yeah, I'm just focusing on each day, making progress, getting the knee better, healthier, legs stronger, and be back on the court.
Okay, Dana?
We have some water here, sorry. We don't know. It's okay.
Dana, go ahead.
Hey, KP.
Hey.
Okay, great. Thank you. Wish I had some water to give you. Sorry. Wanted to ask you a little bit about with the moves that this team made in the off season, on top of now the time and experience the core group has had together, getting healthy here on the horizon. Where do you think this team belongs in terms of the Western Conference?
I believe we have to be up there in the Western Conference. Obviously, it's a tough conference, a lot of really, really good teams, a lot of experienced teams. But I believe we have to make that next step this season. The highest expectations we can imagine, and that has to be our end goal. I don't know when we will get there, but we're working towards that, and I believe this is going to be a great year for us.
Callie?
Thank you, sir.
Hey KP, good to see you again. You mentioned thinking right after the bubble that this coming season would start in February, maybe early March. Did that lead you into the decision to kind of wait a couple of weeks to have surgery in October? And did you think that was going to give you enough leeway to be ready to play right away if the season were later?
Correct. Also, when the season ended, I thought maybe because in the MRI you couldn't really see everything, that's going on in the knee, and I was thinking, not me, the medical staff was thinking, so by giving me some time and me working on the leg, which I was right after the season, I just kept working on the strength of the quad and all that maybe the surgery wouldn't be needed. I did the work necessary, but at the end, the medical staff made the decision that I do need to get a surgery to make sure I'm healthy for next season and I don't have this, thing with me as I go into the next season. So that was the decision, and we went with it. So now I'm recovering well, and time will tell. Not that time will tell. I'll be ready to go, but just might miss a few games early in the season.
Dorothy?
Thank you.
Hi, Kristaps.
Hey.
I know you're going to be out there on the floor, playing. What are you doing to stay upbeat as you rehab? How do you, put your mental and social support together?
Yeah, no, first of all, I have a great support team around me. But this comparing to the ACL rehab and surgery and rehab and all that is I would say is a piece of cake. This is, you make progress daily. Whenever you make progress, it kind of gives you more motivation to just keep going and keep making that progress. So yeah, I would say I've been through a tougher task than this. So this kind of, and also the experience that I've gained from that rehab and knowing what it's like. I always say that the ACL rehab felt like walking in the desert and you don't see no end. So this one is it's just progress daily, weekly, and I could see that by each day I'm getting closer to being back on the court.
Dwayne?
Yes, KP. I was writing something on the sneakers that you guys wear. What's the thought process that goes in deciding what sneaker company you're going to do business with? And if you score 30 points and go 12 or 15 from the field and get 15 rebounds, do you wear the same sneakers until you have a bad game?
No, I'm not. How you say? Superstitious like that. Yes, I don't care. I can wear these shoes right here, which are obviously made by Adidas. Super comfortable. I recommend everybody. And Adidas is doing a great job. They have a lot of comfortable shoes. And for me, it doesn't matter what shoe I'm wearing for the game. I can switch them at halftime. It doesn't really matter. So that's kind of how my mind works.
Why would you switch at halftime? What's going on there?
I'm just saying as an example.
Okay, all right, appreciate it.
Okay, Jess? Jeff, sorry.
Hey, KP. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Hey, good to hear you're feeling good. Can you just go back, though, to the playoffs and the frustration of not being able to finish that series? And then also, you talked about how this is much easier than going through the ACL, but as the injury periods have piled up, how do you stay confident long-term about your health?
What was the first part of the question? Oh, yeah, no. Obviously, I was, for a moment, I was just heartbroken that I wasn't able to play in Game 4, a series like this. I was down. I was really down for a second. But I'm pretty good at kind of just being in the present moment. And in that moment, as soon as, I found out that I might not be able to play for the rest of the series, I was like, okay, for how long am I going to be sad like this? Just on to the next thing, and that was to work on the leg and try to get it healthy or see the options that we have to maybe try to come back for the second round if we make it there. And so that was kind of how my mind worked in that situation. And then yeah, obviously I've had two big injuries, or the ACL obviously is one of the toughest things you could have, and honestly I recovered really well from it. One thing is obviously that if it changes, if these were non-contact injuries, then I think it would be much more concerning. But because they've been contact injuries, that means that those things can happen, and I just have to do everything possible that I can to make sure my body's strong, that my ligaments are strong, and I feel comfortable and confident on the court when I'm playing after the injuries. And after the ACL, I had no doubts in my mind that I was ready to go. It was just a matter of finding a rhythm, finding all the little movements, little details, and finding a rhythm. And now the same thing. I'm already on the court, putting in work, moving around, seeing how I feel, and that's it. Once I'm healthy, once I'm on the court, there's zero doubt in my mind, and I just go 100% every time.
Coop?
Hey KP, how you doing? Good to see you. You mentioned just how much it hurt to not play in the playoffs, but for the 3 games that you did play and the excitement that you felt and you saw with your team, how does that carry you through this season, knowing that you're going to have another chance to do that and play those games that that everybody wants to play, and obviously because you obviously performed in really, really well, and what it means for you and for everybody else on your team?
Yeah, I think everybody's excited. Everybody knows that we're capable of taking the next step, and that's what excites everybody. And we might have fans in the stands. That's also it's going to add even more fuel, I think, once we get there. But we cannot also look that far ahead. We have a regular season that we have to play and prove that we belong there another year, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll see who we match up against, and what's going to be our route to success.
Okay, Skylar?
Thanks, Renee. KP, you eloquently described the notion of wandering the desert with the ACL. Since this one is not like that, is it easier to be patient for whatever that first game will be, or are you bugging doctors and athletic trainers as much as you normally would?
I am. Actually, Casey just walked by. I'll have a talk with him later. But yeah, I'm obviously knowing that I'm really close, or I'm getting pretty close. Calms you down a little bit, but also in the ACL, also you have to be smart. That if you're not ready, then it's not smart to go out there and try to play when you're not ready. So you have no choice but to be patient and to put into work to make sure you are 100%. So it's going to be the same case here. This is just something a bit easier to overcome, and I already see the progress. I already see the path to getting back on the court, and I would say it's just a much clearer path than the ACL one. So I'm looking forward to putting in the work and being back.
Okay, we'll do 3 more in English and then Spanish. Thanks.
Cool.
Awesome. Jessica?
Hey KP, clearly defense is the focus of this team. How important is it for this team to improve on that side of the ball, and then how do you think the additions make this team better?
Yeah, I think that's going to help us. Getting better defensively is going to help us to take the next step, and for us as a team, as a whole. And yeah, I mean, we have a lot of work to do now with the training camp, getting ready, getting a feel for each other. We have some new guys that can give us something on the court, and we look forward to putting all the pieces together and and play the best basketball we're capable of individually and as a group.
Okay, Madison.
Hey KP, Luka's obviously a favorite and in the conversation for that MVP race this year. In your opinion, what does he need to do to win that award at the end of the season?
Luka is unreal. So basically, I would say just team success. The better we are as a team, the better we're all gonna look. So I think that's the main focus for all of us.
And our last one in English is going to be Eddie.
You mentioned it earlier about maybe some time this season having fans in the stands, but after getting a taste of a small gym in Orlando, now you're going to be playing in these ginormous arenas with, at the start, it looks like nobody in it. How weird is that, first of all, and does it take some getting used to?
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty weird. Thing is, like when I was in Sevilla, we used to practice in the same arena we used to play in, so we kind of got used to. At least I'm used to playing in an empty arena where you can hear all the echoes from the ball bouncing and all that. So for me, I think it's not going to be that difficult to adapt, and for none of us, it's not that big of a deal. You know, we were living in a bubble for I don't know how many months and playing and having different. Everything was just completely different and we're all professional and you know that's the you know there's many more things that's way worse for people out there or whatever than us playing in an empty gym. So I think we're gonna all get used to it.
Okay, we'll switch over to Spanish. Lucia.
Buenas tardes, Lucía Piñeros para N Latinoamérica. Muchas gracias por tu tiempo, Kristaps. Los jugadores internacionales vuelven a ser muy importantes esta temporada. No es Facu Campazzo. Sabemos que seguís la Liga Española por tu historia como Luka. Queremos saber qué opinión merece del argentino, cómo crees que le va a ir esta temporada y cómo crees que será para Dallas enfrentar a Facu Campazzo y a este nuevo Denver.
Sí, bueno, la verdad que yo creo que con cada año hay más jugadores internacionales. Otro más, Facundo Campazzo, que ha hecho una gran temporada y se merece un sitio aquí. Estoy muy contento por él y tengo ganas de enfrentarme a él y le deseo suerte esta temporada.
Nicole.
Hola Cris, from Puerto Rico, ¿cómo estás?
Buenas, muy bien.
Hola. Durante el periodo de la burbuja tuvieron muchos partidos intensos, muchos grandes momentos. ¿Cuál fue para ti ese gran aprendizaje que toman de esa estancia en Orlando para traer ahora esta nueva temporada y llevar al equipo al siguiente nivel?
Sí, bueno, la verdad que cuando suspendieron la temporada yo estaba un poco triste porque sabía que no íbamos a lo mejor tener la oportunidad de disfrutar de los playoffs. Al final sí hemos tenido la suerte de poder terminar la temporada y conseguir esa primera experiencia de playoff. Yo creo que ha sido muy clave para nosotros porque somos un equipo bastante joven y para muchos de nosotros ha sido primera experiencia. Y bueno, yo creo que solo nos ha venido bien, aunque no ha ido como nosotros hemos querido o hemos visualizado eso. Pero bueno, es un primer paso y este año tenemos ganas de dar el siguiente paso.
Okay, dos más. Gustavo.
Hola Kristaps.
Hola, buenas.
En la última temporada, en los playoffs, usted postó algunos tweets en portugués. Las personas del Brasil ficaron muy curiosas para saber o de qué se trataba. ¿Usted habla portugués o quién tú conoces que habla portugués?
No, tengo un amigo muy bueno. Se llama Felipe, es un amigo que vive en Letonia, es brasileño y él me enseñó un poco de portugués y me ayudó un poco con los tweets y con los textos en las fotos.
Okay, JC.
Sí, hola Kristaps, Julio César de la agencia EFE de España. eres una persona bastante optimista, pero debe ser difícil empezar una temporada con una lesión en el contexto de la COVID, con los estadios vacíos. ¿Cómo te sientes anímicamente de cara a esta nueva temporada?
Bueno, bien. La verdad que estoy un poco... Me gustaría empezar la temporada, ¿no? Está claro. Pero si lo veo de otro lado, es más importante que yo esté al 100% cuando empiece a jugar y pueda darlo todo para el equipo. Y bueno, nosotros tenemos otros jugadores, muchos jugadores que en el momento que yo no esté nos pueden dar mucho y nos pueden aportar mucho. Así que, bueno, mi objetivo ahora es estar al 100%, de recuperar al 100% y estar preparado para que cuando me den la luz verde, y ya está.
Okay, thank you, Kristaps. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you, guys.